be clear. We don't have any evidence that there has been a sudden increase in the number of objects in the sky. We're now just seeing more of them, partially because the steps we've taken to increase our radars, to narrow our radars.
Hope you feel better now. That's one of Mr. Biden's many explanations after 2 weeks of ignoring questions about the Chinese spy balloon and the eventual shoot down of a total of 4 objects over America's skies. But much of today's speech seemed contradictory to what we've already been told about the balloons, objects, UFOs, whatever they are. Major General Larry Stutzrieim is here, formerly in charge of plans, policy, and strategy at North American Air Defense Command, commonly known as NORAD. They've been a little busy over the past 2 weeks up at Cheyenne Mountain, where you used to work. Look, when President Biden was talking, he was talking obviously to the American people. He was also talking to the Chinese. Xi Jinping, his generals were watching. What did they take away from this speech?
Well, he ended the speech fairly tough, but I was very disappointed in that, he reconstructed the puzzlement of the last couple of weeks as to, this was handled extremely well. There were no mistakes. And I think the Chinese watch this really closely, and they know that there are some failings in the system. And of course, we know that there's deficiencies in the ability of NORAD to see these objects, to track them, and even to intercept them. I mean, we've known this for a long time. NORAD's been put on the back burner of modernization.
Yeah, the domain awareness gap, which was 3 words I didn't even think of in my entire 40 years on this earth, and now suddenly I've mentioned 9 times in the past 2 weeks. Interestingly enough, there's now reporting out there that at least one of the balloons possibly was a hobby balloon, basically a Boy Scout project gone wrong or gone right, up at 40,000 feet, that was shot down. I'm watching some of our competitors all over the past few hours have been making fun of President Biden. Hey, look, you used a $400,000 missile to shoot down a $12 balloon. The flip side of this is it's the same people who are saying, hey, why aren't you doing more and shooting everything down? You can't have it both ways. It feels like it's better to shoot down the balloon than it is to risk that it is the Chinese making something look like a hobby balloon.
Well, Leland, exactly. It's a really simple equation. I wish the president could have laid that out for the American people. There are huge numbers of these types of balloons and airships that are out there, used for science, used for research. In fact, last summer, there was a balloon over the Moose wildfire out in Idaho. It was up at the same altitude as the Chinese surveillance balloon, and it was there for about 11 days. It did communications relays and surveillance. So it's just we've had an event where there was confusion over detection, tracking, and the most important part is characterizing whether something is okay or if it's nefarious. And in today's world, something nefarious can be as bad as we have a dust up with China and they send some, biological weapon on one of these large balloons that suddenly we wake up all the cattle in Montana are gone, So
forgive me for interrupting, but yeah. That seems like an awfully big distance between what we saw, which is a balloon that took pictures and monitored radio communications conceivably, from that to a balloon with biological weapons. Are those events really as close as you're putting them together?
It's as simple as anything can go on an airship or an aircraft, feasibly, theoretically, whether somebody would want to risk that because we would retaliate. But what's really at the heart of this, and the president missed on this, is the knowledge that we don't have. In fact, last year, General Van Herk from NORAD Northcom, one of the best general officers I've served with in the military, in testimony before Congress, he said, hey, my ability to do my mission out here is degrading. It's degraded. I need domain awareness, that is sensing of these things. I need better systems. We've got a radar system up in the north that was built in the 1980s before the smartphone, and it's just barely starting to get funding to replace. So it is, Leland, you really hit it on the head. We need to be able to get there's only about 30 aircraft that are available to intercept or identify.
We learned that about the F-22s. They were the only ones who could get high enough to see the Chinese balloon in particular. General, we got to run, but we appreciate it.
You bet, man.
Yeah, thank you,
bet.
sir.
Love you. See you.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.